Hello everyone, this is Herotmania. Welcome back to my playthrough of Dragon Quest VII, Fragments of the Forgotten Past for the 3DS. Previously, the party began exploring the Faraday region in the present day. An errand for Ambrose. King Faraday has gone off to a no-man's land to the west to investigate an automaton that's been found. His tutor Ambrose has asked us to stop him, because it's supposed to be off-limits. Hey Davalos, don't you think we should be heading over to that so-called no-man's land to the west of the castle? Davalos, this isn't the time to be dilly-dallying in Frobisher. I don't think the king's here, Davalos. So, let us zoom back to Faraday Castle. Then we'll head west. So King Faraday's gone off to the no man's land to the west, has he? We should head there too. This no man's land they're talking about, that's where Autonymus' Institute of Automatry was, right? Well, either way, it sounds like we should head west. Come on, let's get after the king. Yes, indeed. I see a chest and a sign. What does the sign say? The land to the west of here is strictly off-limits. No one may enter under any circumstances whatsoever. Oh gee, that can't mean us. And here's a chest. With a seed of resilience. Beautiful. Into the bag it goes. It appears Autonymus' place is still here. The Institute of Automatry. Phew. It looks like we made it in time. Looks like we're early. Time to have a nap and maybe some food. Pretty quiet, isn't it? The king and his men mustn't have arrived yet. So let's check around. There's a fragment somewhere around. And here it is. Looks like a red fragment. Red Fragment 6, I think. Ah, so it is. Good. The automated debris aspirator is in a serious state of disrepair. It won't be cleaning anything again anytime soon. Empty barrels. Another broken down aspirator. How about the main house? The mechanized ablutionary apparatus is in a serious state of disrepair. It won't be working again anytime soon. Same with the ready-made robotic assistant. Ready-made, huh? An empty pot. Another one. Complicated-looking blueprints. Intimidatingly thick books. Another broken-down Ada. Well, well. No response from master received. No movement detected. Soup temperature critically low. Commencing reheating procedure. Well, Ellie's still up and about. But unfortunately, Autonymus seems to be long dead. E.L.L.I.E still active. Davlos and friends pay a visit to what was once the Royal Institute of Automatry, where they come across E.L.L.I.E, who's still in full working order. And here we find a hairband. No real need for this hairband. Hey there, E.L.L.I. Must administer hot soup. Soup will ensure revival. The cooking machine is still working. There's no response. It's just a skeleton. Poor old Autonymus. Up here comes the king. King Faraday VII. Ho ho! What do we have here? Are you not aware that it is strictly forbidden to enter this place? Well, we can't very well help it if the odd traveler wanders in by mistake, I suppose. I shan't make a fuss this once. And besides, I wouldn't be surprised if old Ambrose put you up to it anyway. You shouldn't listen to him, you know. Now, be a good fellow and stand aside. We wouldn't want Ambrose and yourself to be inconvenienced for obstructing the crown now, would we? Quickly, before I lose my unflappable royal rag. Okay. So it's true, an actual mechanical man, as I live and breathe. And it appears to be fully operational. I can scarcely believe it. Marvelous, just marvelous. This perfectly preserved specimen will be an incalculable boon to our research. Guards, escort our clockwork friend back to the castle without delay. Under no circumstances are you to manhandle it, is that clear? This is a national treasure of the First Order. Yes, Your Majesty. Now, my dear, there's no need to be frightened. Come along, and we'll take you somewhere nice. Master, motionless. Must administer soup. Soup will ensure revival. Soup, you say? Well, if it's soup you're after, we've buckets of this stuff up at the castle. Come along now, follow me. Fresh soup required. Possible source identified. Investigating. Well, off they go. So this is the man behind it all, the visionary, the mechanical genius himself. I hope you will not object to us building on your achievements. Truly, we will be standing on the shoulders of a giant. So it seems some light is finally to be shed on the mystery of all those blank centuries. You are present at an epical moment in our kingdom's history. But time waits for no man, and it is my task to fire up the engines of progress. A brighter future for mankind glimmers on the horizon. We must set our sights on reaching it. Very well, Kingy. Well, Ambrose isn't going to be too happy about the way things have turned out. Hurry up, Davlos. We've got to find the king and get him to change his mind. They're not going to take E.L.L.I. apart, are they? I won't let anyone hurt my friends. We've got to rescue her. This is bad. Who knows what they're going to do with poor old E.L.L.I. We've got to get back to the castle and stop them. Historical hysterics. It turns out that the old Institute of Automatry is slap bang in the middle of no man's land. There's no sign of the king when Davlos and the others arrive, but they bump into him just as they're leaving. They must have overtaken him at some point. The sight of E.L.L.I. gets King Faraday very excited indeed, and he orders his soldiers to take her back to the castle. Before leaving, the king says a quick prayer for Autonymus Goodwinding, whose skeleton still lies on the bed. Sorry, Autonymus. We'll get her back. Now let's zoom back to the castle. This is bad. Who knows what they're going to do with poor old E.L.L.I. We've got to get back to the castle and stop them. They'll have taken E.L.L.I. back to the castle to do whatever it is they're planning to do. Come on, Davalos. We've got to stop them. We'll do what we can, Ruff. If you'd arrived a moment sooner, you'd have seen rather a sight. King Faraday and his men marching a mechanical man into the castle of all things. You should have seen the blessed thing clanking and shuffling along. Dash drum, if you ask me. It's unnatural. If these people knew who E.L.L.I. really was, they wouldn't be so mean about her. We could explain everything that's going on, I suppose, but it'd probably just confuse people. Let's not worry about that now. Mechanical man? E.L.L.I.'s not a mechanical man. Still, we don't have the time to enlighten him right now. Gosh, it's all hustle and bustle today. We've had all manner of comings and goings. I haven't seen everyone this head up since they found that old cleaning contraption down in the castle catacombs. Come on, Davalos, we've got to find E.L.L.I. Where could they have taken E.L.L.I.? Perhaps the throne room, or that laboratory of theirs. E.L.L.I., where are you? Ugh, why does this castle have to be so big? It'll take us ages to search it all. Come on, Davalos, we've got to find E.L.L.I. The king just came by, grinning from ear to blessed ear. And if His Majesty's happy, you can bet we the people will soon be happy too. Gosh, I do love our little kingdom. I'm sure it's a wonderful day as far as the king's concerned, but it's not him we're worried about. Come on, Davalos, stop wasting time chatting to people. Let's go and find E.L.L.I. Hello, and welcome to Faraday Castle. Oh, we shall badger him, sir. If you're looking for His Majesty, you'll find him directly above us. Oh, Your Majesty. Now let's begin, shall we? Yes, let's get started. Now, we believe this flanged protuberance here is what enables the contraption to stand on its own 2 feet. Shall we try detaching it and see? In the interests of science, of course. Certainly. I don't see why not. Uh-oh, poor E.L.L.I. Your Majesty, I must ask that you call a halt to this barbarity immediately. We must allow E.L.L.I. to return home. E.L.L.I., eh? So the contraption has a name, does she, Ambrose? How very interesting. I've had the feeling for a while now that you know rather more than you've been letting on. It was the only thing I could think of that would explain why you were quite so agitated about our little expedition. Ever so sorry, but you leave me little choice. Call the guards. But, yes, Your Majesty, at once. Guards! Guards! Yes, Your Majesty. Escort Ambrose to the dungeon, will you? The dungeon, huh? Ambrose, Your Majesty. Surely not, Your Majesty. Are you questioning the orders of your king, man? You heard me. Throw him in the dungeon this instant. Much as it pains me to do this, Ambrose, I am afraid it must be done. He will languish a while at my pleasure. We must learn the secrets of the mechanical man as quickly as we are able, and without interruption. As to what manner of vital information you have been holding back, I will discuss that with you later. Now, take him away. Yes, Your Majesty. King Jerkaday. Ever so sorry, Ambrose, old man, but if you wouldn't mind coming with us... Not at all. You're only doing your duty. Shall we? Guards, one moment. There won't be any need to lock him in. Let's not make this any uglier than it has to be, Yes, Your Majesty. So they're going to put him in prison, but not lock him in. I'm sure that's nice. Oh, for goodness sake, why do royals always have to be so pig-headed? Hey, Davos, if all the old records were destroyed, how come Ambrose knows E.L.L.I.'s name? There's only one way to find out. Let's go and ask him. That is a very good question, Kiefer. Ambrose and the Clink. Davos and the gang follow the king back to Faraday Castle. When they get there, they are told that E.L.L.I. is to be dismantled and analyzed for the benefit of the kingdom. Ambrose rushes to the throne room and urges King Faraday to return her to where he found her. It seems he knows something about this situation that no one else does. But when he refuses to share, King Faraday throws him in jail. What can the party do to get Ambrose and E.L.L.I. out of trouble? Golly, poor old Ambrose. Marvelous, quite marvelous. In a way, almost too marvelous. Surely our ancestors couldn't possibly have constructed such an intricate machine without some outside assistance. Davos, this is no time for chit-chat. Don't you care about what's happened to Ambrose? Come on, let's go and see if he's okay. They've broken our friend E.L.L.I. If they don't put her back together again, I'll bite them. Easy there, Ruff. Now's not the time to be talking to these eggheads, Davos. With this plucky old girl to guide us, we'll have ourselves a fully automated human being of our own in no time flat. And the quicker we manage it, the happier the king will be. I get shivers down my spine just looking at this feat of engineering, you know. It's just the most extraordinary find. A real boon to science. An important component has been removed, and E.L.L.I. is unable to stand. She almost looks sad. Poor E.L.L.I. Oh, Kingy, given the choice, I would rather you hadn't witnessed that little scene just now. But Ambrose has been hiding something from me, and it will not do. In any case, that's not important just now. What's important is that we hold the very future in our hands. The sun has risen on a new era in the history of our kingdom, nay, our world. The construction of fully automated humanoid helpers will bring joy to all and ensure a future of comfort and ease. If the king acts like this, is he really going to make the people here happy? It doesn't sound like King Faraday really has a clue what he's going to do about Ambrose. The king's goals might be admirable, but I don't like the way he goes about things. His Majesty clearly has much on his mind. I am afraid Ambrose will just have to be patient while we see how matters unfold. Come on, Davalos, let's head down to the dungeons and check that Ambrose is alright. First he takes E.L.L.I.E apart, and then he locks up Ambrose. What is the king thinking? But our friend Ambrose didn't do anything wrong. Well then, let's go check on him. Those soldiers took Ambrose down to the dungeons, didn't they? We should head down there and make sure he's okay. I hope our friend Ambrose is alright. Being locked up is no fun. Come on, Davalos, let's go down to the dungeons and ask Ambrose what he knows about E.L.L.I.E. Hello there. Ambrose is through here. If you want to see him, be my guest. The door's not locked. I was ordered to make sure he didn't leave, but I certainly wasn't told to forbid him from receiving visitors. And I can only follow the orders I'm given, what? Ho ho! Ha ha ha! This guard knows what's what. I'm most awfully sorry. I really should never have dragged you into all this. But now that you're involved, I'm afraid you're my only hope. Could I possibly trouble you for one last favor? Certainly, Ambrose. Thanks ever so much. I appreciate it, I really do. Now, the truth of the matter is that E.L.L.I.E up there was created by an ancestor of mine, a fellow by the name of Autonymus. The poor girl wasn't able to get her head around the fact that he'd passed away, and has been doing her best to continue looking after him for all these centuries since his demise. When I first saw her at it and understood what was going on, I made a solemn vow never to allow her routine to be disturbed. Which is why you have to help me. We must get dear old E.L.L.I.E back home, where she belongs. Now, she won't be going anywhere unless we can get her back on her feet, and without the vital component, those meddling nincompoops removed, that's not going to happen. As luck would have it, I have a spare part back in Frobisher that might do the trick. It's called a globular pistotron, and with a little rejiggering, it should be just the ticket. I wonder if you'd be so kind as to go and fetch it for me. My granddaughter will be able to tell you where it is, and, keep it under your hat, there's a good lad. Ambrose and E.L.L.I.E. Our heroes managed to find a way to talk to the imprisoned Ambrose. Amongst other things, they learned that he is a descendant of their old friend Captain Goodwinding. It also transpires that Ambrose has long known about Autonymus and E.L.L.I.E, and over the years has made many visits to No Man's Land to ensure that they remained undisturbed. This is why he's desperate to return E.L.L.I.E to her rightful home. Unfortunately, one of her most important parts has been removed, and she's currently out of commission. Apparently, the part can be found in Frobisher, so Ambrose asks the party to go and get it. His granddaughter, who lives there, should know more. Okay, let's get over to Frobisher, find Ambrose's granddaughter, and get our hands on that spare part. I want to help E.L.L.I.E go home. If you could poodle over to Frobisher and ask my granddaughter where to find the old globular pistotron, I'd be much obliged. Most certainly, Ambrose. Make our way through the tight security system here. Ahem. And we'll leave the castle. All right, let's head over to Frobisher at the double and get our hands on that thing. I didn't really understand any of that, but we have to go to Frobisher, right? So this globular pistol what's-its over in Frobisher, is it? Well, That's where we need to head. Come on, Davalos. Chop chop. So, back to Frobisher. Right, where's Ambrose's granddaughter then? Come on, let's go and have a chat with Ambrose's granddaughter. So that thing we need is in this town somewhere. Let's go and dig it out. We previously found Ambrose in this place, in the southeast. How odd! Grandfather went to the castle an awfully long time ago, and he's still not back. I'm afraid he's been detained. What's that? You saw him, and he told you to get his special spare part? What special spare part could that be, I wonder? I'm afraid I haven't the foggiest. Wait, silly. You mean his super special buried treasure, don't you? Of course I know where that is. It's in an extra secret place that only we know about. He told me to remember it, just in case he forgot. It's under the barrel near the stream. Just try digging there and you'll find it, but remember, it's a secret. Did you get all that, Davalos? Beneath the barrel, near the stream. Once we've got that part, hopefully old Ambrose will do the rest. By the stream, I guess she means that bit of water in the middle of town. You know the place I'm talking about, right, Davalos? Don't worry, I'll soon sniff it out. X marks the spot. Ambrose's granddaughter tells the party where to find the treasure they're looking for. It's buried under a barrel near the stream, apparently. My husband had an illustrious ancestor by the name of Thaddeus Goodwinding. He was the captain of the guard over at the castle. The story goes that he had a younger brother by the name of Autonymus, who chose to become an engineer rather than a guard. In case you're wondering how we know all this, my father-in-law read it all in an old book that had been gathering dust in a wardrobe for years. And after he read it, he started sneaking off to that no-man's land west of here. Heaven knows why. Oh wait, I'm not supposed to tell anyone this, am I? Gosh, me and my big mouth. Be a dear and forget everything I just said, would you? I knew there'd be a record of Autonymus somewhere. Someone that brilliant couldn't have been completely forgotten. So Ambrose is from the same family as Captain Goodwinding in the old days. Does that mean he's related to Autonymus too? Family stuff is confusing. So Ambrose is a Goodwinding too? I feel like we're experts on their family tree now. Gosh, all this dashing between different times makes me feel a bit dizzy. My sword instructor was a fellow named Ambrose. Lives right here in Frobisher. He's a tough old bird, all right, and a hell of a teacher. Under his expert guidance, I managed to win the Faraday Castle Amateur Swordsman Jamboree on not one, but 2 occasions. Ah, great days! So the spare part we're after is buried under a barrel near a stream, is it? I don't mind keeping an eye out for the barrel, but I'll leave the dirty work to you, Davalos. Under a barrel near a stream. Got it. Now, let's get searching. Leave the digging to me. I'm an expert. Yes, you and your foster mother, the wolf. Through the door, please. So we have to go down there to the right. So we'll go through the church, down the stairs, and through the doorway. Bust this barrel. I said bust this barrel. There we go. Davos digs tentatively. What luck! It's a globular pistotron. Aha! There's no doubt about it. This is a globular pistotron, all right. This must be the spare part that Ambrose was talking about. What is that thing? It smells like an automaton. So we have found a key item, the globular pistotron, an automaton component. Fantastic. Hey there, dog. Let's get this pistotron back to the castle while there's still time. We'd better get this thing back to Ambrose as fast as we can. Come on, Davos. Now we've fetched that thing for our friend Ambrose, let's take it to him. He'll know what to do with it. Unearthing the parts. The party finds the globular pistotron buried exactly where Ambrose's granddaughter said it would be. They immediately head off to tell Ambrose the good news. Before I immediately head there, I'll save the game. I wasn't talking to you, ma'am. Game all saved. Now let's head back to the castle. The lovely zoom spell. So we found the spare part that'll get E.L.L.I.E moving again, but goodness knows how it works. Well, Ambrose will know how to connect it up, I guess. It's time to go and see Ambrose. Let's give our friend Ambrose that thing we found. He'll know what to do with it. So we hope. Sneak past the excellent security system again. Oh, hello. The captain of the guard's in there at the moment. He's checking that our prisoner is safe and well, I learned. Well, Ambrose is his father after all. Come on, Davos. But, father, I don't understand. Why in the blue blazes would you so flagrantly contradict His Majesty's wishes? Because, Theodore, dear boy, those two poor lost souls deserve to be left in peace. It's about decency, pure and simple. That's all well and good, but you must understand that things have changed and... Ah, it's you lot. Listen, father, I understand how you feel, but you mustn't meddle in this matter anymore, is that clear? Thank you for humoring my father. I'm glad someone was able to help him get his point across. I must confess to having rather mixed emotions about this whole E.L.L.I. business myself. But my job is to serve the king, and I must have faith that he knows what he is doing. Ah, so you've brought me what I asked for. Capital stuff. This is splendid. There's nothing you can't fix with a globular pistotron. I can get E.L.L.I. back on her feet in no time. Davlos hands Ambrose the globular pistotron. I would imagine they've taken E.L.L.I. to the laboratory near the castle's main entrance. There's not a moment to lose. We must go and help poor E.L.L.I. Ever so sorry, Ambrose, but where exactly do you think you're going? If you go running around the castle dressed like that, they'll nab you right away. Here, take my clobber. Okay. The guard changes out of his uniform and offers it to Ambrose. Well, it would be rude to refuse such a kind offer, I suppose. Thanks awfully. Ha ha ha! You don't scrub up too badly, Ambrose. You don't look a day over 25. Now, you should probably be getting along. Now, I should really be thanking you for all you've done and letting you be on your way. That outfit is quite slimming, Ambrose. But I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to help me one last time, shall we? Ambrose joins the party. Very well, Ambrose. Wow, in that uniform, Ambrose looks like a different person. I think we should be all right. As long as you don't look too closely, you'll never know that was Ambrose. What a fine upstanding chap that guard is. I shall have to find a suitable reward for him. But right now, we have more pressing matters to attend to. To the laboratory, Davlos. Here we go. It's time to rescue E.L.L.I. To E.L.L.I.'s aid. After delivering the globular pistotron to Ambrose, the party agreed to go and help him get E.L.L.I. out of trouble. Word is that she's currently in the laboratory at the front of the castle. Well, I suppose I'd better just stay here then. That's my job after all. I wish you the best of luck with everything. Well, thank you, guard. Wow, in that uniform, Ambrose looks like a different person. What's going on here? Oh, dearie me. Now this one has stopped working. I'm not sure we can really rely on these machines, you know. Too dashed quick to break down, if you ask me. Pfft, burf, clunk. Meow, meow. So it seems Ambrose is still languishing at His Majesty's pleasure. I hope the king sees sense soon, so that we can put this unfortunate business behind us. His Majesty clearly has much on his mind. I am afraid Ambrose will just have to be patient while we see how matters unfold. But Ambrose has been hiding something from me, and it will not do. Your methods leave much to desire. Your methods leave much to be desired, King Faraday VII. Back to the laboratory. There she is. Poor E.L.L.I. Ah, perfect timing. You couldn't have come at a better moment. I was just thinking that if I didn't eat soon, I'd keel over and expire. My colleagues have all gone off somewhere, you see, and apparently aren't inclined to come back any time soon. I hate to ask, but I'd be ever so grateful if you'd hold the fort here while I go and eat something. Toodaloo! Great scholar. By Jove, E.L.L.I., what have they done to you, old girl? Well, not to worry. We're here to help. Yes, they've had their grubby mitts all over you, haven't they? But we'll soon have you fixed up. Now, this ought to get you back on your feet. Beep! Soup temperature critically low. Must locate master. Searching. Master located. Uh-oh. Master must return to bed. Master is critically ill. Hold on a blessed minute. You've got the wrong end of the stick, old girl. I'm not your master, you silly thing. That's old Autonymus. Master is critically ill. Must return to bed. Must consume soup. Listen, E.L.L.I., you're all at sixes and sevens here, my dear girl. I'm really not who you think I am. E.L.L.I., I really must insist that you stop this at once. Your master is not here. Oh dear. Did I not expressly forbid you to leave the dungeon, Ambrose? What in heaven's name do you think you're doing here? Master is critically ill. Must return to bed. Must consume soup. Ambrose is in danger, by golly. The rotten thing's about to clobber him. Not if I can bally well help it. What? Wait! Guards, stand down! It's not attacking him, dash it all. Can't you hear? Stand down, I say! Bzzzt, bzzzt, sss. Oh no. E.L.L.I! E.L.L.I, can you hear me, old girl? E.L.L.I! No! No, damn it! You've smashed the blessed thing to pieces! Ambrose, forgive me. Are you hurt? E.L.L.I, old girl. Your mechanical friend here was not trying to attack you. I think we both know that. Yes, Your Highness. It seems that, being old and somewhat worse for wear, it mistook you for the master it served so faithfully for so many years. I owe you an apology, Ambrose. I can now see why you fought the poor creatures so fiercely. This machine? No, this is no machine, that much is clear. This faithful servant has far more to teach us about dedication and selfless love while alive than its corpse could ever teach us about the mysteries of mechanics. Ambrose, can you repair her? Can you restore E.L.L.I to health? Yes, Your Highness, I should think so. Very well. Guards, I want you to carry her back to her home without delay. Yes, Your Majesty. Now that ought to have done the trick. Come on, old girl. See if you can stand. Whir, bzz, beep! Master confirmed asleep. Must administer hot soup. Soup will ensure revival. Well, she's back to her routine. It seems things are back to the way they were. I owe all of you an apology. Ambrose, you most of all. In the blind pursuit of my dream, I was oblivious to the heartache that my actions might cause to others. Which is not to say that my goals were mistaken, I might add. Though I agree that E.L.L.I must be left in peace, I remain committed to creating fully functioning bipedal mechanoids, and we shall do so not at the expense of others, but through our own hard work and dedication. Who knows, E.L.L.I.E? We may have a new companion for you before too long. I only hope those we eventually build will have half the heart you have shown. Ho 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 ho! Ho 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 ho! I really can't thank you enough, you know. There you were, just passing through, and I collared you and dragged you into this whole sorry affair, but I couldn't have done it without you. I'd very much like you to visit me in my house before you go, if you have the time, of course. Thanks, really. You've been absolute bricks, every one of you. Now, if you'll excuse me. See you soon, Ambrose. Well then, E.L.L.I., old girl. Looks like all's well that ends well, eh? You'll be left in peace now, unless I'm very much mistaken. We owe all of this to our plucky band of travelers, of course. I know you're saying thank you in there somewhere, and I'm sure they know it too. Ho ho ho! Another job well done, eh? Finally, E.L.L.I. is back where she belongs. E.L.L.I. looks so happy, doesn't she, Davos? It makes me feel happy too. E.L.L.I. phone home. E.L.L.I.'s workings have been tampered with to a terrible extent, but Ambrose is able to repair all the damage done. But as soon as she's switched on, she spots Ambrose and mistakes him for Autonymus. Desperate to get him home, and filled with soup, the affectionate automaton quite forcefully tries to march him back to the Institute, and at that very moment, the king and his soldiers appear. Mistaking E.L.L.I.'s attempts to help Ambrose for an all-out assault, the guards jump in and attack her. Before long, the rusty old robot is collapsed on the floor, looking very sorry for herself. When he finally understands what has happened, King Faraday vows to restore her to her rightful place. And so, after Ambrose has completed the necessary repairs, E.L.L.I. is returned to the Institute of Automatry, where she has lived for so many years, and where she can continue to make soup for the long-since-departed Autonymus Goodwinding. All round to Ambrose's. The sight of E.L.L.I. back where she belongs is a huge relief for Ambrose, who is very helpful to the party for their help. He asks that they visit him at home before leaving the kingdom. And so we shall. Hello again, E.L.L.I. Must administer hot soup. Soup will ensure revival. Fresh soup required. Thank you. Aw? Did E.L.L.I. just say thank you? Surely not. It must just have been my imagination. Did you hear that, Davos? Did E.L.L.I. really thank us? It's hard to believe. I mean, how could she? But I know what I heard. I choose to believe she really said it. Woo-hoo! E.L.L.I. said thank you. That must mean she has real feelings, just like a real person. Alright. Now we'll zoom back to the castle, and then we'll hoof it back to Frobisher. I hope King Faraday and his scholars remember E.L.L.I. as they get on with their research. If they base their designs on her kindness and dedication, I'm sure they'll come up with something that will help everyone in the kingdom. With that ban on disturbing E.L.L.I. in place, there shouldn't be any more trouble in Faraday. And that means it's time we headed to our next destination. Ellie's nice, isn't she? I hope everyone leaves her alone from now on. So back to Frobisher to check in with Ambrose. I never feel quite at ease in this town. It must be the way it's built. It's not exactly very welcoming. Everyone here is talking about machines just like the old days. I guess some things don't change. What are we doing here, Davalos? Are we taking another look at those cleaning machines? We have to chat with Ambrose again. Hello again, Ambrose. Ah, so you came. Splendid. Well, do make yourselves at home. Everything has worked out perfectly, and E.L.L.I.E is back where she belongs, tending to her beloved master. I wouldn't have been able to do it without your help, you know. Without your able assistance, I don't think King Faraday would ever have seen the light. Thanks ever so much. I'll never forget all you've done for me, and for all of us. Hooray! My grandfather said I was a very good girl for doing what I was told and telling you where his treasure was. After you left, I went to see if there was any more buried treasure nearby. So I did a spot of digging to see what I could find. But all that I could find was this funny old stone thingy. I haven't the foggiest what to do with it. Oh, I know. Here. It's for you. It's a present. Well, well. Davalos receives the Red Fragment. Red Fragment 7, I think. Haha, I can't believe you let me trick you into taking that funny old dirty old stone thingy off me. Well, never mind. You can always throw it away. That we shan't. Thanks, kid. She's always coming up trumps for us, isn't she? That little girl seems pretty smart. Who knows? Maybe she'll be the one who builds the first automaton. I thought I was good at digging, but this little girl's even better. And that is indeed Red Fragment 7. Very good. Maybe now we can complete a tablet. I did not do party chat with this fellow. We'll never forget you either, Ambrose. All's well that ends well, eh? Here's hoping that Ambrose has a long and happy life. We'll never forget you either, Ambrose. The men in my husband's family have always been soldiers, but we've only got a little girl. I'd dearly love to give her a little brother, I really would. But you know how it is. My husband is so busy up at the castle, and he's so awfully tired when he gets home. Oh, sorry. I really should learn to hold my tongue, shouldn't I? Just forget we ever had this conversation, will you? Well, maybe the girl could be a soldier. Anyway, it's time to save. Next time, we'll check out the automaton stronghold again, and then we'll unlock the next region. This is Heyrotnania. I'd like to thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next time.